Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, March 8th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. We got the March core update, we got the March spam update, we got manual actions, we got new spam policies, we got new search quality raters, we got tons of more Google news, Bing news, and paid search news. So definitely stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsors, SimilarWeb. Perfect timing for SimilarWeb. You could do all your rank tracking and make sure that you're not, declining. You could go ahead and make sure your rankings are improving. You can see which sites have manual actions, which ones don't. It's a pretty cool tool. And again, just a little spiel here. This is sponsored by SimilarWeb, the all-in-one strategic SEO software. Get clarity in your SEO landscape through competitive analysis, keyword research, rank tracking, SERP insights, and more. With industry-leading traffic and keyword data based on real user journeys, SimilarWeb gives SEO professionals the whole picture so they can strategize smartly and drive sustainable business growth. So definitely check them out. Perfect timing. You could go ahead and see how well you're doing with these manual actions and these algorithm updates, the March and spam updates. So definitely check them out at similarweb.com. Okay, so it's 5:20 or so in the morning on Friday, and so far, my gut feeling is that the core and spam algorithm updates, did not fully roll out yet. Of course, there's manual actions. We'll get into them soon. But again, Google announced on March 5th in the afternoon at 12 p.m., probably one of their biggest core updates ever. I spoke with Google at length, actually the day before they launched it, to go into all the details so I could have stories written for this and answer hopefully all your questions. I asked them probably like close to 30 plus questions. And I wrote 2 blog posts, one at Search Engine Land, really big detailed one, and then a bunch of different core individualized posts at Search Engine Roundtable the following day. Now, again, the March core update launched on March 5th around noon. Danny Sullivan said it launched when they announced it, so it's rolling out now. Again, I don't really see signs of it rolling out now. Again, I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't think the algorithm updates have really fully rolled out yet. It will take about 4 weeks for this core update to fully roll out. In fact, Google said there's multiple systems that are being updated at different times in this core update. So it's not going to just be one core update. There are going to be multiple core systems being updated during this 4-week period. So one might drop on Friday, today. One might drop next week on Wednesday. One might drop in 3 weeks from now. We just don't know. And again, you'll see ranking changes for each core system, maybe what they are. It's not just one update within this core system. It's multiple, and you'll see that over the next 4 weeks or so. Google said this will lead in their test to a reduction of low quality, unoriginal, unhelpful content by 40%. We'll see. And just the normal core update stuff. Google gave no additional new advice on what to do if you get hit by this update. Just do what they've always been saying, write great content, and so forth. Very, very interesting. Again, the core point is that there's going to be multiple systems being updated in this 4-week period. It's going to be, one could drop tomorrow, one could drop in 2 weeks from now, one could drop in 4 weeks or so. And then when Google's finished rolling it out completely, Google will let us know, and I'll, of course, have a post. And one cool thing about this also is that the helpful content update is no more. Google said they incorporated this helpful content update into the core system, and Google will not be announcing future helpful content update systems. So if you were hit by the September helpful content system, probably one of the systems in this core update will be that helpful content system, and that'll be updated, and maybe you'll recover. I posted all the previous core updates we had, all the previous helpful content updates we had, a lot of SEO chatter, of course. And again, the tools are starting to spike a little bit this morning, around 5 o'clock this morning. But again, I'm not seeing significant core-like trends either in the SEO chatter, like SEO is going crazy about this update, or in the actual tracking tools as of yet. And of course, I will keep you posted. Maybe over the weekend we'll see something, and maybe I'll do a special post over the weekend. Then we also had a Google March 2024 spam update. And the spam update is like any Google spam update, but Google actually updated their policies around this spam update. Again, this one also launched same date, same time, March 5th, noon. And Google linked to their general spam update documentation. And it seems like this one targets new things like scaled content, expired domain name abuse, and it will eventually in May affect site reputation abuse. Now, scaled content abuse is it's basically they're changing what was called like automated generated content to scaled content. And it's not just even focused on AI. Google actually mentioned AI very little in the Google blog post. Chris Nelson in the Search Central blog post mentioned AI more. But it doesn't have to use AI to do scaled content. You can use humans, you can use a mix of AI and humans, and so forth. So definitely that's scaled content. There's a lot of discussion there. I have a lot of detail there. I can't spend too long talking about it here. But definitely take a look at that. Also, Google expired domain abuse, that's launching also this week, So scale content and expired domain abuse, where you're buying domain names that expired to go ahead and manipulate Google search. Surprised they need even a policy for that. If you're manipulating Google search with expired domains or without, doesn't matter. And then on May 5th, Google's announced and roll out a new one called the Site Reputation Abuse Spam Policy, which is basically that parasite SEO thing that people are talking about, where if you host your content on third-party websites and the third-party websites hosting your content for manipulating Google search purposes, then that site will be hit by this. Again, they're giving these sites like 2 months notice, say don't do this, get rid of it, and so forth. And it goes through a bunch of things of like what you can host, what you can't host. There's a lot of specific examples on that. And also Google, it's made a small change to the spam link policy where they added a new line writing, creating low value content primarily for the purpose of manipulating links and ranking signals is against their policies. So definitely take a look at that. Tons and tons of people are receiving manual actions. Manual action started the day after Google announced this, and it's been rolling out even more yesterday, Thursday. We'll see if people are still getting them today, but people are getting manual actions for pure spam, for low value content, and so forth. And it's pretty serious. It's a lot of these YouTubers and SEOs on Twitter and so forth that were like bragging about how well they're doing, how much money they're making by manipulating Google search. It looks like not all of them, but almost all of them got hit. Some of them are calling them they got clapped. Some are calling them other things. And those sites took a real beating. I mean, there's one guy who said he made $13,000 plus a month. That income is gone overnight because of him using, I guess, the scaled content approach and other methods, which Google is now calling pure spam. I have tons of examples of people getting hit by these manual actions. Again, a manual action, it could be automated, but it's not an algorithm doing it, meaning Google has these different techniques to go ahead and find all these type sites. Then they will go ahead and manually issue through some type of automated method to say these are being tagged by humans as pure spam and so forth through different heuristics. And then Google will then send out a manual action through Google Search Console. The core updates and the spam updates that are algorithmic will not get a manual action in Google Search Console. You won't know you were hit necessarily by a core update or a spam update because those are algorithm updates and Google doesn't have an automated action viewer. But for manual actions, like these pure spam updates and so forth that people are getting hit by now, you will have a manual action. So go to Google Search Console and check to see if you have a manual action. If you do, then go ahead and take whatever necessary steps you need to go ahead and fix it, because once you fix that issue, it's possible that you could go ahead and recover pretty quickly. That being said, tons of people are getting these manual actions. Again, you might notice a big hit, but not have a manual action, and that would probably be algorithmic. So keep that in mind. So then I asked Danny Sullivan yesterday or the day before, Google just released one of the biggest core updates. Google just, with multiple system updates in that core update. Google also released a spam update, and then all these manual actions are being flying out. What's going on? Why is Google releasing all these things when Google said they tried to minimize overlapping different Google updates? So Danny Sullivan basically replied, yes, we'd still try to minimize overlapping updates, but with the core update being done at the same time as a spam update and Google really needing to push out a search quality update, well, he didn't say that. He said, why, when they're both out, and why not improve the Google search results at the same time? So they pushed them both out at the same time. That's what he said. And he said with manual actions, those are not automated, those are not algorithms, so why not? Those can be released whenever you want. I'm not a fan of it. I think Google should have at least done the manual actions a month from now and let the algorithms do their thing so people could figure it out, because there are many times, as we covered before, where you could have a manual action and also be infected by an algorithmic update. So keep that in mind. But again, Google knows what I think about this, and Google will be Google. Google also updated their search quality raters guidelines. They didn't really announce this, but a lot of people noticed that there was a few changes. One, in the document, Google said they added, they wrote that they updated the characteristics of untrustworthy pages and added illustrative examples. So I looked, and they basically added another line called multiple or insignificant factual inaccuracies on information page, which could cause users to lose trust in web pages as reliable sources. And then they went in section 4.7 and updated a lot of the illustrative examples about what these types of examples are. I have links to every single public and some non-public Google Search Quality Rater Guidelines archive. So if you want to do a compare of them, you can. And I documented some of the changes with this update. So definitely take a look at that as well when you have time. And then I did a poll asking SEOs, or whoever's following me on Twitter, do they think that this Google update will actually have an impact on the search results? Google said it would be a 40% reduction in unhelpful content, low quality content, etc. And I asked SEOs, and we got almost 1,400 votes, and 78% said, no, we don't think Google's going to, these updates are going to actually have an impact, at least a 40% impact on improving the Google search results. So we will see. Google seems very, very confident about this update. We will see if this update actually has a huge impact or not in the Google search results. I also posted the March 2024 Google Webmaster report on Monday. So if you want to catch up on the whole month of February and see what you missed, definitely take a look at that. But it was a pretty slow month compared to even this couple days what's going on there. So definitely take a look at that. Danny Sullivan also spoke about what Google knows or doesn't know about how to know if a website has reliable information or not. We covered this multiple times before, but basically he said, we have systems that try to detect content that has reliable information. We also have talked about the notion of consensus when it comes to facts. He said, so answering the question if basically does Google know what reliable information is not a yes or no answer. He said it isn't that simple. The broader point is this: people like reliable information. Our systems try to show information that people like. People, please people with reliable information please our systems. So basically, if you want to make people happy, give them reliable information because we like to please our people. Very interesting. Again, I go into this in a little more detail. So nice question there by Darth, and we will hopefully that answer helps some people, but I don't think it will. Bing also announced some big news this week. Fabrice Cannell announced that Bing Webmaster Tools now has a bunch of new features, including IndexNow Insights, which goes into much more detail about your IndexNow pages, and as well as these top SEO insights, which show up on the actual console page when you first log in to tell you some of the biggest SEO issues with your website, at least in their view. They also have a new navigation and so forth. So definitely take a look at Bing Webmaster Tools. It just made some big updates this week. Thank you, Fabrice, for pushing those updates out this week at PubCon. Google Search Console has updated, or at least announced that they released an update where their rich results report has been updated, specifically where Google's now reporting on 2 new properties in the rich results report: the recipe instructions and the recipe ingredients properties. And because of this, and this started on March 6th, because of this, after March 6th and going forward, you may see an increase in the number of warnings for those recipe results because Google's now tracking those additional properties. So keep in mind that. And Google also removed the Google Assistant related recipe structured data because Google Assistant no longer shows recipes going forward, which was a change that Google made, I think, a month or so ago, or 3 weeks ago. Google Search Console also said they changed, documented how Google Search changed the way they show events in the Google search results. In fact, Google removed some of the event-rich results from the Google search results. And because of that, you may see a drop in clicks and impressions for event-rich results or event search appearance report metrics in your performance reports. So keep that in mind. There are changes to event-rich results, which I hopefully dig into more because it seems a little bit confusing to me. And hopefully next week I'll have a bigger post on that. Google has finally shut down the Google Business Profiles websites as of, I think it was like Wednesday or Tuesday. Well, it was Wednesday morning, I believe. Initially, so now they actually redirect. If you go to a Google Business Profile website URL, it will redirect to your Google Business Profile. It was supposed to happen on March 1st. It happened on like March 6th or something like that. Keep that in mind. They're gone. And eventually, I think in like 2 or 3 months from now, even those redirects will stop working. So keep that in mind. Also, Google Business Profiles has a bunch of their tools that are not working. You cannot manage your reviews. You cannot manage appeals, and you cannot go ahead and verify your status of your business profile right now. There are alternatives. You could use the contact us form to actually reach out and do these appeals. But right now, these tools are currently not working as of last night, Thursday, around 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, and they're still not working as of recording this video at 5 a.m. in the morning on Friday. Bing Deep Search is now live again. It went live, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday, and it's live again. It seems a lot faster, actually. Still slow, very slow, but it seems a lot faster, and it seems a lot less buggy. This was help Frank spotted this as well for me. And I noticed I tested Bing Deep Search a while ago, and then they took it offline because it was horrible. It was really not just slow, it just wasn't returning results. And it seems to be back, so you could probably give it a try now if you want and see what you think for yourself. Bing also added Copilot settings. So if you hate how that when you go to Bing, do a search and you scroll up and Copilot shows up, or you hate how the Copilot box shows up in the Bing search results, you can actually disable those. This again was spotted by Frank Santman. There's a screenshot of that setting. Google Ads will automatically pause inactive ad groups if they're inactive for 13 months. Google and had no impressions also in the past 13 months. This will start rolling out, starts on March 11th, and it can take several weeks to roll out. They expect this feature to roll out by April 30th. So if you do see that, that's good. Now Hopkins likes this. Some PPCers do not like it, so keep that in mind. Google also has officially released the Google Ads Solutions tool. We covered this a couple months ago, and now Google officially rolled it out. Google said you can filter your data by campaigns, ad groups, keywords, and other dimensions, set flexible budgets, manage negative keyword lists, sort your data by metric, and export your reports in different formats as well. So that's a feature that we covered a few months ago, but now is officially launched by Google. Google will be updating its local service ads verification process. A lot of local SEOs are super happy about this. They're hoping that it will reduce the amount of spam. The verification process will take about 60 days. Google sent out details after we covered it, but I have a lot of details about what this means and so forth, so definitely take a look at that. I posted about it on March 4th at seroundtable.com. Google Ads Editor version 2.6, I think was out, but then they removed it. So if you did get Google Ads Editor version 2.6, it might be available for download and update. I have a whole list of what changed there, but they seem to remove it. So definitely if you are using Google Ads Editor and you're on version 2.6, you got a version too early, or maybe they removed it. I'm not sure, but it was out for a little bit and they removed it. Microsoft Advertising Performance Max should be globally available to everybody this week. It was not available globally, but now it is. So PMax is going strong with Microsoft Advertising as well. And Google AdSense has now launched new verification requirements for AdSense for search. Again, this seems to be part of Google cracking down on any site going ahead and just showing ads from Google anywhere. So definitely keep that in mind. In any event, thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. I hope everybody does well with this Google updates, and we'll keep you posted on what we find. Again, thank you so much for listening. Thanks to SimilarWeb. Everyone have a great, safe, healthy weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Goodbye.